originally, the channel started off me just BMX riding. People can go on the channel and see a few BMX clips of me riding the bike. We used to have to make BMX videos to get into competitions. You send it to the competition, they'll say, yep, you're good to ride, or no, you're not good enough, or also you're making these videos for sponsors as well. So you put videos out, if they do really well, you're likely to get sponsorships, which would then help you to get to these competitions and do all these shows and things like that as well. As I was mentioning, it started changing a lot, the BMX world, and instead of just uploading clips of you riding, it became more showing your personality as well. So we started leaving in bits of like funny parts of when we was riding, and then so a bit more talking, and then also I got talking about my cars. I was always into cars and modifying them and everything like that. And I think one video I walked around my car, I think it was an E-Class at the time, a Mercedes E-Class, and that video did better than a lot of the BMX videos. I was like, well, that's strange. Like, I've walked around the car, but no effort in, and the video's done really well. But obviously the audience for automotive is huge. And anyway, I thought, okay, people are interested in the cars. A lot of people were asking what's going on with the car, this, that, and the other. Then one day, my girlfriend crashed her Audi TT she had, and to buy it back from the insurance, it was £600, and it was like a £4,000-5,000 car. I thought, well, it looks like quite an easy repair, so I thought I've only got to lose £600 if worst case. So I bought the car back from insurance and thought I'd decide to fix it and film it at the same time. So I really started filming stuff as well to help me know how to put things back together as well, because you can always look back on the content of what you took off and where it went. And one thing led to another. I started filming one video, and that got about 3,000 or 4,000 views. People then were asking, when's the next video? We want to see what you're going to do to it. So then I filmed another one, and then the following grew a bit more, and everyone kept asking about the TT, and there's a real niche for this TT. I think I ended up making like 30 videos on this TT of rebuilding it, then modifying it, and doing everything you could do to a TT. I could not believe how many people were interested in it. At the time, it's still just sort of like a hobby on the side of BMXing and everything like that. Then COVID happened. I got furloughed from my job. I was at home for 5 weeks. I didn't know how long I was going to be home for originally. And at the time, I'd saved up to buy a house. I saved up to buy another house, and that was sort of my way out of the matrix as such. It was the only way out. I was working 9 till 5. I was working in the evenings in an Indian restaurant as well, and I was just saving up as much money as I could to buy houses, rent them out, and that was going to be my passive income. So then I wouldn't have to work as much. So I could ride my bike and do stuff with cars. Obviously, COVID happened. I wasn't sure about the housing market. I didn't know whether I should buy during lockdown or not, and it was a bit of a risk. But also at the time, I think I was probably making a couple £100 a month from YouTube, and I was really enjoying it. So I thought, well, why not? It will give me something to do. Let's buy a big project to do on the driveway at my house, and we'll film it. I've got plenty of time. I bought a Bentley Continental GT, it was £10,000, and decided to rebuild it on my driveway. Had a front end knock, and from then on, the channel just absolutely blew. I think everyone was at home watching the videos and really enjoying the rebuild, because a lot of people were doing stuff to their cars. It was the only thing you could do at the time, and was really enjoying rebuilding it. The papers got involved, and then local radio station was ringing me up, and we did stuff on the local radio. And then I kind of realized, okay, this is what working should be about. It's like I'm actually enjoying it. It's not going to work every day and this, that, and coming home and just having a small amount of spare time. I was doing what I loved doing. 5 weeks later, my boss called me back into work. I didn't want to go back in, but at the time, everyone's getting laid off jobs because of COVID. So I thought it was the worst time for me to quit my job. But I was in there for about a week, and I could not concentrate. I was getting brand deals offering me money to do videos. And I think at the time, I was earning more from one video as I was doing in the whole month of working at my job. And I was working there 5 days a week, and I could just film one video and earn the same in one video. And it was a no-brainer. I thought, if I just go for it and I'll try it for 1 year, if it doesn't work out, I can go back and get a normal job again. And I left my job. It was the best thing I did. The more I put into the YouTube channel, the more I got out of it. I was putting 100% in every day. I had more time. I I was enjoying it more and more and more. And then when it got into winter time and I was still doing it on my driveway, then I had to gamble and take on a unit so I could work inside the workshop there, so I could consistently put out videos rather than if it's raining outside I couldn't film. And from the units then opened up more doors, could do bigger projects, and well, to now 1.4 million subscribers later and the crazy car collection, it's completely changed my life. Like now we have my girlfriend's working for me, my dad's here in Florida, I've got a filmer here with me, and it's in a matter of 3 or 4 years. Like it's not even been tens of years yet, it's 3 or 4 years and it's completely changed everything. It's a crazy story to think about, but yeah, so grateful for it. We did go from the TT. After that I bought an Audi S5, but it wasn't damaged. It was just the cheapest S5 I could find in the country. It was £5,000 and it needed a lot of work doing to it, and it was less of a risk because I could drive it, and like I thought because it's cheap, I can't lose any money on it. It can't get any cheaper than what it was. So it was less of a risk. And even now to this day, I feel like the bigger the risk is, the more people enjoy it because they can see like I'm worried about this. And when you're at the peak of emotion and this, that, and the other, the videos do better. So going from, I think from the S5 after that and then moving to the Bentley, I think people loved it. It brought in a completely different audience. We had like a lot of older people watching as well, and then everyone knows the brand Bentley, so it just brought in a huge audience. And even forgot to mention it, when we finished the build, Bentley themselves contacted us and said they love watching the videos, and we were so surprised because we're just a guy in the driveway with a backwards hat on, like fixing this car, and we had no idea about. And they invited us to the headquarters in Crewe, and we brought the car up and they checked it over at their place. And whilst they were checking it over, they gave me a brand new Bentley to drive around for a few days whilst it was up there. And they really loved the videos, and all the mechanics were kind of praising me, really. It was like, oh yeah, you were like us back in the day working on the driveway. And from then on, we managed to get a small opening in lockdown where you were allowed out, and we drove the Bentley to Monaco. And as you may know, going to Monaco, outside the Monte Carlo casino, they will only park cars there which are kind of supercars or luxury cars. So our goal was to drive all the way to Monaco, and if the £10,000 Bentley gets parked outside the casino, we've made it. And we got all the way down there, we got up to the valet driver, handed him the key, and he parked it outside the front of the Monte Carlo casino, and everyone was taking photos with it and was like, well, it's £10,000 and it's next to £1 million Bugatti Veyrons and things like that. So it was such a good story. And after we've done all of that and got home, we then actually raffled off the car. It was, I think, £15 a ticket people bought a ticket for, and the guy who won the car was a young lad, like 21 years old, and I'm thinking, oh, he's not going to be able to insure it or tax it or anything like that. And we drove it down to him to give him the car. This is the one car I regret getting rid of because I loved the car, but we gave this car to Jack, who lived down south in England. When we got there, he'd already taxed it, he'd already insured it, and he daily drives the car. So it was, what a story that car has got. But if I ever had to have one car back, it would be that Bentley, 100%. It's just a good all-round car. Daily in it, can have fun in it. Hannah liked it, my girlfriend. She rarely likes the cars to drive. They're either too loud, too uncomfortable, or she doesn't like the clunky gear stick or something like that. But the Bentley was perfect. So
Finding good quality used cars is harder today than it ever has been, and the best way to find one is by using Auto Tempest. Auto Tempest is where I start most of my days searching for my next car because they compile the results from all the major sites into one place. They support VINwiki, they support CarTrek, and we love them for that, but honestly I love it because it's the best way to find your next car. They've even got an app now, so download it, check it out, and have the power of Auto Tempest on your phone.